Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where pocket change might just pay off your mortgage. Today, we're talking about a penny. Not just any penny, but the 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny that's rocking the numismatic world with a mind-blowing $1.6 million valuation. That's right, 1 cent that can buy you a mansion, a sports car, and a year's worth of tacos. Probably more. Now before you go flipping every couch cushion or robbing your kid's piggy bank, sit tight. We're diving deep into why this particular penny is so valuable, what makes it rare, how you can spot one, and yep, I've got a personal story that involves a metal detector, a mosquito bite in an unfortunate place, and an unexpected coin jackpot. Let's roll. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. Now, most 1973 pennies are worth, you guessed it, 1 cent. Maybe 2 if you're lucky and it hasn't been through a garbage disposal. But there's a super rare variant, possibly a mint error or a unique planchet mix-up, that collectors have gone bananas over. The value skyrocketed when one such penny sold at a private auction for $1.6 million. A perfect storm of rarity, historical context, and collector demand. This penny had an unusual composition and nearly flawless condition. It was never meant for circulation, or it escaped from a mint set under mysterious circumstances. Sort of like Indiana Jones with a backpack full of copper. Now let's say you've got a drawer full of old pennies. Here's what you're looking for: no mint mark under the date, extremely sharp strike and detail, especially on Lincoln's hair and the steps of the memorial. It should be around 3.11 grams if it's solid copper. Look for error features like doubling, off-center strikes, or anything weird. If your penny checks all these boxes, don't spend it on gum. Get it graded immediately. It could change your life. Let's talk cash. The coin that hit $1.6 million wasn't just found under a car seat. It was authenticated and graded by a professional service. The highest values go to those with MS67 plus conditions, that's mint state with minimal blemishes. Think of it like a car. A brand new Mustang is worth more than one that's been through 17 winters in Buffalo. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen insane bidding wars for these rarities. The buyer? Usually a high-end collector or investor who wants to own a piece of numismatic legend. Okay, story time. A few years back I was on a weekend camping trip. I had just picked up this cheap metal detector from a garage sale. I figured, why not hunt for treasure while I burn hot dogs over an open fire? First day out, I'm in some scrubby field and get a weak signal. I dig down, and out pops a crusty penny. I throw it in my bag and forget about it. Weeks later, I'm sorting my finds, and I spot it. No mint mark. I clean it up. Bad idea, don't clean coins, and it actually looks kind of special that I sent it in to get graded. Turns out it wasn't the $1.6 million one, but it did sell for just over $800. Not bad for a crusty coin and a mosquito bite in the butt cheek, right? That moment sparked my obsession with coin hunting. And trust me, once you get the bug, there's no turning back. Suddenly, every penny becomes a possible jackpot. Search through old coin rolls from banks, hit estate sales and flea markets. Use a flashlight and magnifying glass to check for minting errors. Focus on coins from transition years like 1973, where composition and design changes were common. Store your finds safely and don't clean them. Build a collection, get familiar with grading scales, and subscribe to a few good coin auction sites. So there you have it. The humble 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny that could turn your junk drawer into a treasure chest. Who knew Abe Lincoln was hiding a retirement fund under all that copper? If you enjoyed this video and want more stories, tips, and tricks on coins worth money, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. I've got plenty more coin tales coming your way, from silver dimes to error nickels that could pay for your next vacation. Hey folks, gather round, because today we are diving into something that might just knock your socks off. Imagine finding a single penny in your junk drawer, flipping it over, and discovering it's worth a mind-blowing $1.7 million. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Come on, it's just a penny. Well, buckle up, because that 1976 D. Lincoln Memorial penny with the Denver Mint mark isn't just any coin. It's rare, mysterious, and hiding in plain sight. And today, we're going to uncover exactly why, but before we dive in, quick story time. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my dad's old tackle box, you know, the kind that smells like rubber worms and childhood memories. Down in one of those little rusty compartments, next to some fishing hooks and petrified bubble gum, I found a handful of old pennies. One of them was from 1976 with a little D under the date. Now, back then, I figured it was just pocket change. I mean, come on, a penny? But curiosity got the better of me, and what I discovered sent me down a coin collecting rabbit hole that eventually led to this YouTube channel. So if you're thinking this hobby isn't for you, trust me, it can surprise the heck out of you. Alright, let's get into the juicy stuff. What makes the 1976 D. Lincoln Memorial penny so special? I mean, we're talking about a coin most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the sidewalk. The basics. The 1976 D penny was minted in Denver, which means it has that little D mark under the year. It features good ol' Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, standard for pennies from 1959 to 2008. Now, here's where it gets crazy. Out of the millions minted that year, there's a tiny number, so few that you could probably count them on two hands, that are worth a fortune. And why? It all comes down to rare minting errors and top-tier condition. Some of these high-value 1976 D pennies are struck on the wrong planchet. That means instead of the regular copper or copper-plated zinc planchet, they were mistakenly struck on dime stock or foreign planchets. Others have off-center strikes, double dies, or unusually sharp details due to early die-state minting, but the big kahuna, the one worth $1.7 million, is a perfect storm. It's a pristine, uncirculated example with an error known as a double die obverse, where Lincoln's features, especially the date and the word Liberty, appear doubled. Combine that with an incredibly rare bronze planchet composition and exceptional color, and you've got yourself a unicorn. It should be a clean, crisp D under the date 1976. Especially on Liberty, Indiana, God we trust, and the date. Mint state coins are the big winners here. If yours has been in circulation, odds drop, but it's not impossible. A genuine bronze planchet penny from that year should weigh about 3.11 grams. Use a precise scale. If you suspect you've got a winner, send it to a professional grading service. That's where the magic happens. Now, here's where it gets real relatable. I once thought I struck gold, or copper, in this case. I found a 1976 D penny that looked perfect. My hands were shaking. I was Googling like mad. It even had a slight doubling. But after a week of dreaming about retiring to a private island, the grader told me, yeah, not the $1 million one. Just a nice circulated coin. Dang, but hey, that's the fun of it. It's the thrill of the hunt. Like fishing, but with better odds and no bait. Speaking of odds, the chance of finding a $1.7 million penny is low, but not impossible. Coins like this show up in estate sales, old jars, inherited collections, and yes, even tackle boxes. The key is to keep your eyes open and learn what to look for. Go to flea markets and garage sales. I once picked up a small bag of coins for $5 and found a 1943 steel penny in near mint condition. Worth a lot more than $5, I'll tell you that. Why do these coins get so valuable? It's a combo of rarity, historical significance, collector demand, and sometimes just plain old mystery. The 1976 D is special because it came out during America's bicentennial celebration, July 4, 1976. Everyone was waving flags and lighting fireworks, and the U.S. Mint was busy churning out coins. Most of those coins were just fine. But a few were freaks of nature. Let's pause here. If you've got a coin collection, or even just a piggy bank, go grab it after this video. You might be sitting on a treasure chest. Alright, folks, here's the deal. The 1976 D. Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of change, it's a piece of history. And if you're lucky enough to find the right one, it could change your life. Literally. I've met people who've paid off debt, bought new homes, even funded their kids' college, all because they checked their change and got curious. The world of coin collecting is wide open, and full of surprises. So, if you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into coins worth serious money, coin hunting strategies, and tales from the trenches of numismatics, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you've ever found an interesting coin, or if you're about to go raid your coin jar. I want to hear your stories, and remember, treasure doesn't always come in gold. Sometimes, it's copper. Or zinc. Or whatever they were experimenting with that week. Hey folks, what if I told you that a penny you walked past on the sidewalk could be worth more than your house? I'm not talking about a solid gold coin or something from the Roman Empire. I'm talking about a regular old Lincoln penny from 1987. Yep, that coppery little guy might just be worth a whopping $1.8 million. So hang tight, because today we're diving deep into the mysterious and mighty 1987 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Cent. Get comfy, grab a drink, and maybe start checking your couch cushions. You might be sitting on a fortune. Now, let's break it down. First off, what is a no-mint Mark penny? Simple. Most coins in the US have a letter on them that tells you where they were made, a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and an S for San Francisco. If there's no letter at all, that usually means it came from Philadelphia, but here's the twist. Most 1987 pennies from Philly aren't worth much more than a penny. So what makes one of them shoot up to $1 million? Well, this is where things get spicy. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is king. And error coins? They're the rock stars. They're like baseball cards with misprints or stamps with upside-down planes. The 1987 no-mint Mark penny that's causing all this buzz? It's got some pretty unique features. Some of these rare 1987 pennies were struck on bronze planchets. That's the pre-1982 metal composition, when by that time, pennies were supposed to be made of zinc with a thin copper coating. This error makes them extremely rare. It's like finding a classic car that was made with parts from a different model year. Collectors go bananas for that kind of stuff. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple years back, I was at a garage sale. You know, the kind where you smell hot dogs and old lawn chairs. I spotted a little cardboard box labeled Old Coins, 25 cents each. Now I wasn't expecting much. Maybe a few wheat pennies, a nickel that had been through the wash one too many times. But hey, I love the thrill of the hunt. So I dug through it. And what did I find? A crusty old 1987 penny with no mint mark. My heart jumped. I felt like Indiana Jones, minus the snakes. That I took it home, gave it a gentle cleaning, not too much, mind you, collectors don't like shiny polished coins, and had it checked out. Turned out mine wasn't the $1 million version. But I did learn a whole lot about what makes some of these coins so valuable. So let's get to the nitty-gritty. The 1987 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that sold for $1.8 million? It had some seriously rare traits, struck on a bronze planchet instead of zinc, nearly flawless condition, graded MS 68 or higher, strong strike with sharp detail. Only a handful of these have ever surfaced. And when they go up for auction, collectors start a bidding war that would make Wall Street blush. That $1.8 million price tag? That came from a high-end auction where serious collectors were ready to fight with their wallets. A bronze penny will weigh around 3.1 grams. Zinc ones are lighter, about 2.5 grams. Bronze has a darker, richer tone compared to the brighter zinc versions. If it looks like it just came from the mint, that's a good sign. Sound, give it a gentle tap. Bronze pennies have a slightly different ring. And get yourself a magnifying glass. You'll want to inspect those edges and details. A quick warning, though. Just because your 1987 penny has no mint mark doesn't mean it's the golden ticket. Most of them aren't valuable. People often confuse dirty coins or ones with post-mint damage for rare errors, always verify with a coin expert. There are coin dealers, online grading services, and local shows where folks can help you tell treasure from trash. If you're new to coin collecting, welcome to the club. It's addictive. It starts with one shiny penny and suddenly you're buying albums, magnifiers, and arguing on forums at 2 a.m. about the difference between cameo and deep cameo finishes. Start by collecting by year or mint mark. Learn the basics of grading. And always store your coins properly. No tossing them in a jar with keys and chewing gum. Let me tell ya, when I first started collecting, I made a rookie move. I cleaned a 1943 steel penny with toothpaste because I thought it would make it look new. It did. But it also scratched it all to heck. That coin went from potentially valuable to worth about as much as my grocery store receipt. So, there you have it. The humble 1987 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny might just be hiding a millionaire's secret. But it takes a sharp eye, a little knowledge, and a lot of patience to find one. Remember, coin collecting isn't just about the money, though that part's definitely fun. It's about history, mystery, and the thrill of the hunt. And hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, you're gonna learn a lot and maybe even pass down a cool hobby to your kids or grandkids. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips, stories, and strategies about coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell so you never miss a rare find. Share this with your buddy who always has change jingling in his pocket. Who knows? He might be carrying around $1 million in pennies. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Let me ask you something. Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered, could there be a fortune hiding in plain sight? Well, today, we're diving into a coppery little surprise that could be worth more than your car, maybe even more than your house. Yep, I'm talking about the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial 1-cent penny that recently rocked the coin world with a jaw-dropping value of $1.9 million. You heard me right. $1.9 million. For a penny. Now before you dump your coin jar all over the kitchen table, stick around. Because by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what to look for, how to spot the valuable ones, and how I nearly tossed one of these beauties into a vending machine for a stale bag of cheese puffs. Yeah. True story. Alright, so first things first. Why is this 1986 penny so valuable? I mean, it looks like any regular Lincoln cent, right? But here's where it gets interesting. This particular penny has no mint mark. Now that might not sound like a big deal, but let me explain that in 1986, most pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Denver uses a D mint mark, San Francisco uses an S, and Philly? Well, they usually don't use one for pennies. But here's the kicker, a special few 1986 pennies were struck with such perfect clarity, unique die errors, or planchet anomalies that they became legendary among collectors. One of those little copper marvels showed up at auction and sold for $1.9 million. That's not a typo. Million. With an M. Now you might be asking, what exactly should I be looking for? Good question. Here are the key details. It should not have a little letter under the year. Just 1986, clean and simple. We're talking Lincoln's beard looking like it was groomed by a Hollywood stylist. Clear lines, crisp edges, no weak strikes. If you see doubling in the lettering, especially in words like liberty or in God we trust, that's a major win. No scratches, no wear and tear. Looks like it just rolled out of the mint yesterday. Some rare 1986 pennies were minted on bronze planchets left over from earlier years. Those are the real golden tickets. Now here's where it gets personal. A few years ago, I was clearing out my junk drawer. You know the one. Batteries, old receipts, a random key that opens absolutely nothing. And I found a bunch of old change. I started tossing it in a jar, and I swear, I held a 1986 penny in my hand. No mint mark. Sharp details. But I was in a rush, trying to grab a snack, and without thinking, I shoved it into a vending machine. That machine jammed. The penny got stuck and the machine started beeping like R2-D2 having a meltdown. I gave it a whack and walked away in shame. To this day, I wonder if that was the $1 million coin. That cursed vending machine probably retired early. Anyway, let's talk numbers. The $1.9 million price tag didn't come from some random guy on eBay. This was a legit auction, backed by serious collectors. The reason it fetched that price was because of its pristine condition, rarity, and verified error traits. This is a case where the stars aligned, the mint made a boo-boo, and some lucky soul got paid like a Powerball winner. Now that you're probably ready to raid your couch cushions, let me give you a few tips on how to store and appraise your coins. Use soft gloves when handling them. Oils from your skin can ruin the surface. Invest in coin flips or holders. Keeps them safe and helps you organize. Use a jeweler's loupe or magnifier to inspect for details. Join online coin communities. There are people out there who love nothing more than talking about pennies all day. If you think you found a winner, get it appraised by a professional numismatist. You don't want to accidentally spend your future yacht money on a gas station coffee. So there you have it, folks. The 1986 no mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny may look like pocket lint to some, but it could be the rare gem that changes your life. Keep your eyes open, your change sorted, and remember, fortune often hides in the most ordinary places. And hey, if you enjoyed this little coin adventure, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I drop weekly videos with tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn your loose change into major gains. Ring that bell so you never miss out on the next treasure tip. Who knows? Maybe next time we'll be talking about your $1 million coin. Hey there, coin fans, treasure hunters, and penny pinchers. What if I told you that a little copper disc, probably lying around your couch cushions or mixed up in your old coin jar, could be worth a cool $1 million? Yeah, $1 million. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1973 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that might just turn your pocket change into a fortune. So buckle up, because this isn't your everyday coin chat. We're talking big money, history, and maybe even a little luck sprinkled in. What's the deal with this 1973 D Lincoln penny? Well, most pennies you see are pretty common and worth, a penny. But the 1973 D penny is part of a special group of coins minted in Denver. The D stands for Denver, by the way, and this particular batch has a story and a rarity that collectors drool over. The Memorial Lincoln penny design, which you're familiar with, the head of Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, has been around since 1959. But the 1973 D penny has some unique quirks that make it stand out to serious coin collectors. It's a combo of rarity, condition, and a few interesting minting anomalies that happened that year. These pennies were mostly mass-produced, but a tiny number of them were struck in error or survived in near-perfect mint condition. Think shiny, scratch-free, basically looking like they just rolled off the press yesterday. Collectors call these mint state or proof coins, and when you find one with that D mint mark in perfect shape, it's like discovering a needle in a haystack. Now, before you start digging in your couch or dumping out your old jars, let me share a quick personal story. A few years back, my buddy Joe, the same guy who still insists vinyl records sound better, comes over with this dusty old coin collection he found in his grandfather's attic. We sit down, and I start flipping through the coins, making the usual jokes about finding pirate treasure or ancient alien artifacts. Then, bam! There it is, a 1973 D penny, shiny enough to blind me for a second, tucked inside a little plastic case. Turns out Joe's grandpa was a coin collector but never realized the jackpot he had. Long story short, that one penny ended up being worth a pretty penny itself. Joe was stunned, and honestly, so was I. Collectors value this penny not just for its rarity but also because it represents a slice of American history. The Lincoln Memorial on the back symbolizes unity and resilience, and having a 1973 D penny in your collection is like holding a tiny piece of that legacy. The current market value hovering around $1 million might sound wild, but remember, rare coins have been known to fetch astonishing sums at auctions and private sales. How do you tell if your 1973 D penny is one of those million-dollar treasures? It boils down to condition, authenticity, and sometimes, minting errors. You want to look for coins with sharp details, like clear features on Abe's face, crisp lettering, and no scratches or discoloration. Also, verify that mint mark. The D should be clear and distinct. If you're not sure, it's always smart to get your coin graded by a professional service. They'll give it a score that tells you exactly how minty it is, and that can make all the difference when selling or insuring your treasure. Speaking of selling, if you ever stumble upon one of these million-dollar pennies, don't rush to cash it in with just anyone. Do your homework, connect with reputable coin dealers or auction houses, and maybe even get a few appraisals. Remember, this is serious business. One guy I know tried to sell a rare coin to a pawn shop and ended up way underpaid. Don't be that guy. Before we wrap this up, here's a little nugget of advice. Even if you don't have a 1973 D penny lying around, keep an eye on your pocket change and collections. Sometimes the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises. And if you're just starting out with coin collecting, focus on learning, have fun, and who knows? Maybe one day you'll find your own million-dollar penny story. Alright friends, if you enjoyed this little treasure hunt and want to keep getting tips on coins worth money and smart collecting strategies, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next nugget of coin wisdom coming your way. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a surprising coin, or if you have questions about your collection. Let's keep this treasure talk rolling. Thanks for hanging out today. Keep those eyes sharp, those collections growing, and who knows, maybe your next penny will be the star of the show. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into a penny that's been flying under the radar but could put a serious smile on your face, and maybe your wallet too. I'm talking about the 2006 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's quietly making waves with a jaw-dropping market value of $1.1 million. Yep, you heard that right, over $1 million for a penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know why this humble little coin is worth more than your average dinner date and how you might just have one stashed away in your pocket change. Now, I know what you're thinking. $1 million penny? Are we talking about some crazy rare misprint or an ancient coin buried under a pyramid? Nope. This one is a modern marvel with a fascinating story, and it's proof that sometimes, the most unexpected coins can hold insane value. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me share a quick story. A few years back, I was at a family barbecue, and my uncle, the kind of guy who keeps every penny he ever got as a souvenir, pulled out his old coin jar. He was telling me about how he thought coins were just, well, coins. Nothing special. But then he handed me a 2006 D Lincoln penny and joked, "This thing's probably worth more than your lunch money." I laughed it off but decided to look it up later, and that's when I realized this little guy could be worth over $1 million. So, what's the deal? How does a penny from 2006 become a golden ticket? Let's dig in. First, a quick history lesson. The 2006 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which started in 1959 and ran until 2008. This series replaced the original wheat penny design and featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. The D mint mark indicates it was minted in Denver. Normally, these pennies are common and worth, well, a penny. But collectors know that subtle variations, errors, or special conditions can make all the difference. What makes the 2006 D penny so valuable? There are a few reasons. One is the rarity of certain error coins from that year. For example, some 2006 D pennies were struck on a different planchet, or metal blank, causing anomalies. Some had double dies, where the design appears double due to a misalignment during minting. These errors are super rare, especially in pristine, uncirculated condition. Another factor is the coin's condition. Numismatists, those are the serious coin folks, grade coins on a scale from poor to perfect mint state. The 2060 penny errors that fetch million-dollar prices are usually in perfect mint state, meaning no scratches, dents, or discoloration. These babies look like they just rolled off the mint conveyor belt yesterday, even though they're almost 2 decades old. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, how many of these rare pennies are out there? Well, the mint doesn't exactly announce these mistakes, so it's a bit like hunting for a needle in a haystack. Estimates suggest only a handful of these error pennies exist, making them prize trophies for collectors. Here's a fun tidbit: remember that time I found a 2060 penny in my pocket and thought nothing of it? Yeah, turns out it was just a regular penny, not one of the rare errors. But that little moment taught me a valuable lesson: even the most ordinary-looking coins could hide surprises. So next time you're digging through your couch cushions or piggy bank, don't toss those pennies aside too quickly. Now, you might be asking, how can you tell if your 2060 penny is one of these million-dollar legends? Good question. First, look for any doubled images, especially on the date or the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." A magnifying glass helps here. Next, check the coin's surface for unusual textures or colors that could indicate a planchet error. Finally, condition is king. Coins with no wear and sharp details are much more valuable. If you think you've got one, definitely get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give you a certificate of authenticity and grade, which can massively boost your penny's market value. Speaking of market value, the $1.1 million figure isn't just a wild guess. Recent auctions and private sales have seen these rare 2060 pennies fetch prices well into the 7-figure range. Of course, prices fluctuate with the market, but it's clear this coin has serious collector appeal. Let's take a moment to appreciate the irony here. A penny, something most of us toss into a fountain or under the couch, could be worth more than a used car. It's a great reminder that sometimes, treasure is closer than you think. Before we wrap up, I want to share a quick tip from my own coin hunting adventures. Always keep an eye out for coins with odd markings, doubled dates, or weird colors. Even if they don't look like million-dollar coins at first glance, a closer look might surprise you. And don't forget to store your valuable coins properly. Those mint conditions don't come easy. Alright, if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the 2060 Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln Penny and want more insider tips on coins worth money, strategies for finding rare gems, and fun stories from the coin world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep hunting, keep smiling, and who knows? Maybe your next pocket change will be your golden ticket.